I am a simple girl, and sometimes when I'm bored, I use my life as a social experiment to see if what the girls are actually saying on the internet is true. Now, over these last couple of months, I have been putting myself out there just for like conversation and different kind of things like that. I wouldn't necessarily say that I am ready to date, but I have been open for conversations, and the girls are saying that the men don't really like women. And just based off of what I've heard so far, they don't. Now, I'm not saying that they don't like the idea of women, they don't like the labor of women, both physically, emotionally, and mentally. But what I am saying is that they do not like women to the core of us. I have approached dating with or not, let me not say dating. I have approached dealing with men with a different set of eyes, ears, and also different things that I come to ask to get an idea of how they actually think. Um just my whole mentality when approaching a man, or not even approaching a man, but like men approaching me and say like I really find him like attractive or whatever the case may be, like the old pick me in me would want this man to like eventually like come to the conclusion about like, oh my god, like I'm wondering how he feels about me. Now I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about putting a man at 100 when he really should start out at 0 and work his way up. Because I think as women, a lot of the times what we do is, for certain women, as soon as you get a man who you find mildly attractive and who's talking to you a particular kind of way, you kind of like start to immediately like imagine like, oh my god, like maybe I could date him, maybe we could be in a relationship, maybe we could get married. And it's just like, girl, you don't even know who he is. Pump your fucking jets, Sally. Okay? You don't even know if he likes himself. Which leads me to say that the conversations that I've had over the last couple of months with men are very interesting. And I don't want to give too much away, but how to determine in, I would say, maybe 30 minutes or less, just depending on how long you're having a conversation with a man. In 30 minutes or less, you can tell if a man actually likes women or not. But if you want it to be more natural, I would say an hour, right? An hour conversation on the phone with a man or an hour conversation in person with a man will definitely tell you if he likes you or not. One of my favorite questions is, do you believe all people should be feminists? Now, by definition, a feminist is one who is, an advocate for equal rights for all genders, not just women, but all genders, right? Trans, cishet men, cishet women, like all genders across the board. And not only do I think that women are fighting for the right of genders just like anything, we push back against ageism, sexism, racism, all of those different kind of things, right? Another great question to ask him is, uh, what do you specifically like about women that doesn't directly benefit you? Tell him to name 3 to 5 things and watch him start skipping like a motherfucking 90s motherfucking CD. Watch it. Watch it before your motherfucking eyes. And the reason why you don't want to have these conversations over text, and you either want to have it in person is probably the best, because then you can see a live reaction of a nigga panicking, which is one of my favorite pastimes. But you could see like a live reaction of how they are just like scrambling trying to figure out what the fuck they're gonna say. You could also have this conversation over the phone and kind of get like the same reaction and stuff like that. But if you see a nigga like blinking like overtime and stuff like that, he's in stress mode. He's in stress mode. He's really trying to figure out like what kind of answer he could draw to keep you still sitting there, right? Another great question is, what is his self-concept, right? Ask him who he listens to like on a daily basis. We all have these, cellular devices, and a lot of people have our ear most of the time. Ask him about the different kind of people or content creators that he follows online. That will tell you a lot about how he thinks. It will tell you a lot about how he thinks. Does he have mentors? And if so, who? Does he have a great relationship with his parents, his siblings? Does he have a select group of friends that he can run and talk to when he is feeling low about himself or when he needs upliftment or just to get away and have fun? You have to ask these different kind of questions because it will tell you not only if they love themselves, but if they actually have a genuine admiration, care, and respect for the same women that they want access to. It will tell you a lot. And listen, when I approach conversations with men, I disarm them. I start out very lighthearted. A lot of people who don't know me in real life, they don't understand that I bust balls for fun. So I, though it is manipulative, I aim to disarm them by having, light conversations. And listen, I think the best way to address the conversation or just to have an interaction with a man, period, is just to show up as your authentic self. Look at him like he is the bro, no matter how attractive he is. Look at him as like he's the bro. Your body and your nervous system will relax. Even when he say like cute shit to you, just think to yourself, this is the bro. He need to shut the fuck up. This is the bro. Like just keep telling yourself, because I don't know, I've mastered a different level of detachment, so I can do it like naturally, but I know a lot of women would probably get nervous around somebody who they really found attractive, who they really are interested in, but you're going to have to stay on your P's and Q's at least for the first, well, not even, you're going to always have to stay on your P's and Q's when it comes to niggas, but like for those first couple of interactions, you're really going to have to be paying attention, and you're going to have to get out of your head of thinking like, oh my God, like I want to impress him. Girl, he is there to impress you. He needs to be impressive by the things that he talks about. Also by the different kind of conversation that he's bringing up. I think at least for the first couple of, interactions, just let him talk. Just let him talk, because you think he's fine now. I don't believe in crushes. And I essentially said, like, having a crush on somebody is just a lack of information, because you allow a nigga to talk long enough, he will show you why you don't need to be giving up no coochie. I promise you he will. Like I said, 3 days, 2 days top if I'm paying attention. Ask them these questions. Ask them. Because you want a man who is curious. That is one of my biggest icks with men. They are not curious about anything. They're not curious about the rage of women. They're not curious about why women are deciding to step away from, interacting with them. All they want to do is get online, complain to their friends, complain to the world that there is a loneliness epidemic, that they aren't getting any sex, that nobody wants to have families with them, that nobody wants to interact with them, when they literally have a whole community, a whole male community, who they could at least find community within. But do they want to do that? No, they want to place all of the blame on women. So if you are out in this dating world or just interacting with men, period, please, before you put them in close proximity to you to siphon your energy, figure out if they actually like women, because I promise you, 9 times out of 10, they don't. You spend an hour with a man and ask him like, so what do you like about me? What about my character do you admire? Me. What about me do you admire? And a lot of them will draw a blank. I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of them will draw a blank because they don't know why they like you. They just find you attractive and they just want to be around you. They just like the fact that they have your number and that they have access to you. Please do not be deaf, dumb, and blind when it comes to getting out here and, putting yourself in a line of, people. Ow, girl. This nigga making goddamn biscuits on my stomach and shit. Nails done punctured me. Anyway, just be safe. Just be safe. If you're walking away from conversations, I remember I had this conversation with a man, and the end of the conversation happened, and my body felt so heavy. It felt so heavy. Please pay attention to everything. Pay attention to the questions being asked. Pay attention to the body language. Pay attention to the micro expressions. Pay attention to every fucking thing. The verbiage. He constantly using the word female. Cancel that nigga like Nino. Start to call that nigga boy. And see how he like that. Chill, boy. I don't know what you're talking about, boy. And say it with so much emphasis. Say it with so much emphasis as if you are a little boy in him. Because you are. Because you are. Because you don't see me as a person. You see me as an object. I'm telling y'all. These niggas will talk themselves as some coochie. They will talk themselves out of an interaction real quick. And I know there are going to be some, outliers of women who they just are desperate. And they'll be willing to deal with it because they desire closeness so much. And to me, I don't give a fuck about how I'm being perceived. I give a fuck about how I'm being treated. That means so much more to me. I don't give a fuck about a nigga's love. I give a fuck about the respect that comes with dealing with me. I got enough love for my goddamn self. Do you know who you talking to? I'm exactly who the fuck I think I am. Okay? I want motherfuckers, when they listen to me speak, when they see me walk down the street, I want them to think, who the fuck does she think she is? I'm everything you think I am and more. Yes, I am your sweetest dream and your worst motherfucking nightmare. Just depending on the interaction. So please, ladies, these girls online, they not lying. They not lying. When they said that the niggas hate women. And you know what's crazy? Sometimes, like, people are really conditioned with internalized misogyny so much, they don't even realize what they're doing when they're doing it. But, like I said, when you have a conversation with a man, don't try to change his idea about things. Don't try to argue him down. Don't try to, obviously, give your opinion about things like that. But don't try to convert anyone over to how you think they should feel about things. Because unpacking conditioning, unpacking misogyny, unpacking these different unrealistic societal standards, whether it's, unrealistic standards when it comes to men and women, it takes years. Self-development and healing take years. There's no way in one conversation that you could actually change a man's mind about how he's been thinking for his entire life. You ain't that nigga mammy. However, if you are a woman with any kind of presence, you got is you. If you are with the right kind of man, I'm pretty sure if he actually liked you, he would hear the things that you say and the things that you discuss. And, he would say, like, damn, I never thought about it like that. Let me look into that. I like men who are curious, not only about me, but about themselves. They get out of their own echo chambers and they get out of their own way and they say, you know what? I know I've been taught this particular kind of way for a long time. Let me see what I can change about myself. Let me do some self-reflection. Let me do some shadow work. Let me see what I need to fix. Let me develop a new sense of empathy. Anything could be taught. That takes work. When people say they don't know what the most romantic thing they've done for somebody, or when they say they don't know what they, how they would plan a date and all this, that, and third, what they're saying is, I'm too lazy to do that, or you're not worth it. Everybody runs to Google and the internet to find answers when they don't know something, right? If they can't get the answers from you, they're going to get it from some type of source. Because if I know I really wanted something, whether it be a job or whether it be, certification in something, and I really was looking to, gain extra knowledge in that, or just put myself in a better position, guess what the fuck I'm going to do? I'm going to study. I'm going to be curious. I'm going to get on my dean. I'm going to get on my job. And I'm going to figure out how I can have better connections in this line or this field of work so I can excel. Niggas want access to women. Niggas want to be in fields and groves and have harems of women, but don't want to try to figure us out. Not in the ways that they need to. They go and look at these pickup artists or red pill content and they think to themselves, how can I manipulate myself into some pussy? Instead of saying to themselves, how can I become a greater version of myself and be authentically me, genuinely me, and somebody appreciate that and align with a woman who actually likes me. Me, my interests, my ideals, my way of thinking, my friends, my mentors. And listen, she ain't gotta like every fucking thing, but most, you know what I'm saying? I've been saying for a very long time myself, like I would not want to be with a man who I don't admire. Who doesn't make me stop and think like, damn, how the fuck do I become a better person? This nigga's on his shit. He got me thinking about some of the things that I still probably need to unpack. And the reason why I could sit up here and say with my whole chest, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not lying, is because I've actually been in the field and I've been having conversations. And a lot of this shit is unbecoming. Once you get past the niceties and the flattery of someone thinking you attractive and the flirt and all of that, and y'all get into some gangster shit, you're going to see that a lot of people want access to you. They don't like you. They are probably the complete antithesis of everything you fucking stand for. But I don't want you... the reason why the season of isolation and solitude and healing and self-development is so necessary is because when you gotta disconnect from people who you felt like you had something with, because listen, chemistry can be manufactured. Stop telling these niggas everything about you. Chemistry can be manufactured. Connection can't. It's either there or it ain't. And even when y'all break apart, it's hard. Right? Y'all have common interests and values. That's the connection. And sometimes it's so esoteric, like you can't even put your finger on it and you can't even explain it. I'm not talking about trauma bonding. I'm talking about a real fucking connection. Where you could be in the same room with somebody and you don't even need to speak. And it's a spark. You can you can sit up there and get finessed and finesse yourself into a situationship or a relationship with a man who don't even give a fuck about you enough for real, because you done told him everything about you to make him woo you. That nigga talking about taking you out on a motherfucking date. He need to be figuring out the plan. What's gonna make you feel impressed? Damn, what I need to do to figure out to make this an experience for this girl. I be really sitting to myself thinking like, damn, if a nigga isn't approaching me and thinking like, yo, I think she's dope. I think she's special. I want to make this an amazing experience for her. Some shit she ain't never gonna fucking forget. It's gonna be so cute. I'm gonna be generous. I'm gonna be chivalrous. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do my best shit. We gonna have fun. And create a vibe that's something that it's something he would like to do. Like, men, some of these men don't understand, like, when you planning a date, you bringing a woman into your world of what you think is fun or what you think would be a vibe. And if she is fucking with that, then cool. But if she not, she not. Stop trying to manufacture shit and let it be real. You know, there's women out here who are genuinely interested in some of the things that you could possibly be interested in also. But you just want access. You just want coochie. That's all you want. And worried about why nobody want to stick around you for a long time. You sitting up here trying to figure out or her trauma or she trauma dumping on you and you feel like, yeah, tell me more. Because you feel like you got to end. And she's silly because she thinking, oh my God, he know me so much. No, girl, you just was talking and you wouldn't shut the fuck up. Nobody can't pull a me on me because guess what? I put everything online because I'm willing to sacrifice myself. Listen, a man who I truly want to date, he don't know about my social media. He don't know about the hard pill. As a matter of fact, I'm not even talking about it. It used to be a time I would talk about it. I'm not even talking about it no more. He not even gonna know I have a YouTube page. You shitting me? I don't give a fuck about dating niggas on the internet. Are you crazy? No. So he can start picking at my pain bodies and shit like that. I'm trying to figure out why the fuck this nigga knows so much and why. You know what I'm saying? He manufacturing a vibe. No. Nigga who want to fuck with me gonna have to see me out in person or some shit. You know what I'm saying? But even if he did, listen, even if a nigga did peep what I got going on or whatever the case may be and seeing how I speak and the different things that I require or the different questions that I'm asking him and shit like that, he gonna be like, if he's really for me and he genuine, he gonna be like, yo, that's smart. A lot of these women should be approaching situations like that and maybe they wouldn't be getting fucked over. Yeah. So, if a nigga happen to stumble on my page by accident and hear some shit about me, cool. But my baby, you can't finesse a finesser. Huh? Some of these niggas be thinking they 10 steps ahead. Baby, I'm 25. And you had no idea. I was all laughing and giggling and shit like that. I got to talking about sex, not even with you. And that's another thing. You start talking about sex with a man, and it don't even be nothing towards him. It could have been about, past experiences or, you know what I'm saying, shit that you find interesting or, and a lot of people know about like my porn addiction and how I'm not into that shit no more. I get to talking about that. You start talking about sex with a man, all of a sudden he get this false sense of entitlement. He start thinking like, oh shit, she talking about sex. I might be a candidate. Bitch, no. Who said that? Who said that? Who said that? And any man upset about the fact that you would even talk about sex in any capacity, you know what I'm saying? And feel like, oh, she talking about other niggas and all that. Like you ain't supposed to have no life outside of him. Like you was just born yesterday. I would give a damn if a nigga talked about, nah, bitch, and what she did to him, bitch, cause he ain't never fuck with the big dog. So I could care less. I don't give a fuck about what none of these bitches be doing. I know how I be handling business, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. Respectfully. Okay? So, I'm saying all of that to say this. The girls is not lying about how these niggas is on the internet. However, it's up to you to do your due diligence to ask all of the right kind of questions when you are sitting down and you having conversations with these men, and you really got to show up as your authentic self, because you know how you feel when you got to approach every situation like you don't like a nigga. You have to approach every when you don't like a nigga, you are your automatic carefree, loud, obnoxious self. And I'm not telling you to be all of that. You know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? You feel like a free bird. You feel like you can say anything, do anything, whatever. And if he like you, he like you. And if you don't, he don't. You have to approach every situation like that when it comes to dealing with niggas. Because at the end of the day, they're literally just men. I'm not saying that there aren't anomalies that would probably make you feel like, damn, shit, I see why it ain't work with nobody else. I ain't trying to never leave this situation, but 99.999% of the time, I said it before, like, these niggas is out here trying to play on your fucking head top. Any man who is ever approaching you, be it online or in person, they want something from you. Your job is to figure out what it is, my baby. So handle how you handle your scandal. You hear me? I'm gonna talk to y'all in the next one because we coming up on 30 minutes and I do long form content, but I ain't trying to have y'all here all day. I'm gonna talk to y'all.